What's up, everybody? My name is Bryce the Brave, aka Cataclysmic, and I am here with a Dragon Ball Legends video. I would like to go over my box and do sort of a box showcase and team showcase just to highlight what I do have and the teams that I have been using, the teams that I like the most, and what I think these teams hold for the future of Dragon Ball Legends, along with the units that will be dropping, especially coming up on the anniversary. I feel that a GT character may be coming for Goku Day, and that the anniversary is probably going to bring a Gods versus GT type deal, because if you guys remember from the last anniversary, it was Super Saiyan God Goku and Super Saiyan God Vegeta versus Super Vegito. I believe this anniversary they're probably going to do Super Vegito versus Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta possibly, or maybe Super Saiyan Blue Vegito versus the Super Saiyan 4s. However they do it, I'd be extremely happy with that, because GT is definitely my favorite out of all the series. But as far as that goes, we'll go ahead and move on to the units. So first we're going to start off with the characters that I do have. Now, I've been sorting them by power level just so I can get to my more powerful units faster, and it makes it easier for team building. You can kind of see what units are available to you, what are actually going to be viable immediately. So we are missing the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and the Zenkai Cooler, because we do not have the sufficient stars for those two. I really would like to get Super Saiyan 2 Gohan rolling with the stars. I was thinking about using my Snake Way Z Power for that, but I've been pouring it into the Feetku because his 6-star ability is really powerful, especially alongside the new free-to-play Kakarot Goku. I'm at 12 stars right now, and just with the free Z power that they've been giving, I will be able to reach him to 14 star pretty soon here. So these are the units that I do have and that I do not have. Sadly, I am missing this Fat Buu, Borgos, and Shugesh. I feel like those are the 3 units I'm really missing out on, because Bardock is definitely a powerhouse, especially when coupled with those 2 EXs. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the teams that I have been using and the teams that I think are viable in today's meta. So first we have God Key here. As far as substitutions go for different characters, I mean, this team isn't very big, but it definitely has a lot of room for growth. I'll show the equipments on the units that I am using, and we'll talk about the units that you could possibly substitute. So I think Purple Vegeta is very critical for this team in the current meta, only because Kefla is running rampant, and this Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is able to make very short work of that Kefla. The purple God Goku is a viable option, but I don't see it being as viable as a lock-in mechanism or a lock-in unique, only because the ability to hold one character, one unit in place and knock out that unit automatically puts the other team at a disadvantage. So this is the Saiyan team that I've been running, and as you can see, my Feetku is currently 5 stars, and I will be getting him to 6 stars very shortly, and that is when this team will become an absolute powerhouse, even more so than it already is. This team is very, it has a lot of units that you can put into any of these color slots. I am missing a yellow, and you could sub the yellow Kaioken Goku, or even the Bardock, but they only give a singular buff. I'm more looking for buffs to maximize the damage output of this current team here. That is why I'm going to be running the Feet-Ku probably alongside the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Really any member of this team is going to receive the significant buffs from this Feet-Ku. I think this Feet-Ku is almost essential at this point for the basic Saiyan / Goku / Sun Family team. I feel like those kind of fit all into the same category. Next up is going to be GT. This team is still monstrous in PvP. I feel like a lot of people lately have been sleeping on it only because, I don't know, it seems like a lot of people either just don't like GT in general or the transformations. I don't know what it is. I think they are really incredible. The only substitution I would make would be Sin Shenron instead of the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, only because Sin Shenron has the ability of endurance, which activates once, of course, but he also gains strength with Rising Rush. So this is probably going to be the next unit I'm going to be pushing towards 6 stars, because he does give double buff instead of a singular blast buff as Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta does. Also, the red base form GT Goku can fit on this team, or the yellow Super Saiyan GT Vegeta can fit on this team. I don't think Baby has any place in this team, and the only reason why I say the Super Saiyan Vegeta from GT is because of the debuffs he is able to provide and the amount of ki he gets on his main ability. Other than that, I feel like this is the best form of the team that you can run besides the Sin Shenron. Now, next up, we're going to be taking a look at my Frieza Force team. Now, again, there are quite a few units that you could change out. I just find that the EX Ginyu Force is just such, each and every one of them are such powerhouses, especially these top 3 here. I'm going to show the equipments here. I've been farming for this one lately, and I feel like the equipments are the key for this team. So this team is a little bit harder to, I feel, use effectively in today's meta, but it's definitely still very powerful. Like, if I got this to Z, like this last slot, if I get a few of these, 6% strike and blast attack, along with these two, for each Frieza Force battle member, they would be ridiculous. Another team there's a couple more teams that I do want to take a look at here. We'll try to speed it up. So Fusions, obviously, there's no doubt about this. I actually was running a different Fusions team than this, but I would say this is probably the more viable. Once I get my transforming Vegito to 6 stars, this is the team I will be using. And I do still really like this Gogeta. I have really good equips for him, and he's still such a powerhouse. The only problem is that with Kefla running all over PvP right now, it's kind of hard to run him. Now, as far as a core Fusions team, I think Kefla kind of kicks the Super Gogeta, the green Super Gogeta, out of the question. I don't think he's viable at this point, unless you're a fan of Gogeta, go ahead, run him. But I feel like Kefla is the more viable unit for this team, considering she does gain the blast armor and bonus damage on every strike. Now, as far as my yellow transforming Vegito goes, I was running Gotenks just to beef up my transforming characters quite a bit more. And I was also running purple Gotenks because he's an older unit, but I want to try and get some practice with him. I believe he's going to be the Anniversary Zenkai unit, only because I also have a high feeling that there will be a Fusions coming out for the anniversary. Now, another team that I really don't like to run just because of how much defense this team has. It's a problem in my eyes, and I don't like to exploit that. And you can make any team as tanky as you want. Like with the Saiyans team, you can make that team super tanky with the movie Super Saiyan Goku, and if you have him, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and that'll really beef up the defenses quite a lot. You could run that with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who is already a monstrous tank by himself. But as far as this team goes, it's super defensive, right? And I've been running this yellow Piccolo when I do, because his court card is so valuable, especially with a team that just shoots out court cards. Like on main ability, this Janemba gives a green card. Same with this one on her second main ability, she gives a green card. And those just power up his super move so incredibly much. I tend to run Baby, Piccolo, and the 21, but if I run into movies, I have that Janemba there to combat the yellow Gohan. As far as substitutions for this team goes, I mean, Kid Buu, yes, he can go in Janemba's slot, but I feel like Janemba has a little more utility when it comes to gaining the green cards, being able to freeze your opponent, and the massive damage that his super does is, I feel, a lot more valuable than HP on strike cards. So I feel like this is the most optimal team. Other than that, we'll go ahead and take a look at movies. Now, again, a lot of people will hate on this team. It is very cheesy with the Vegeta, Gohan, Bojack. That's pretty much the generic movies team that everyone's been running. However, I've been trying this movies, and it's definitely a lot of fun. It's something different. I feel like movies with that original core team as Vegeta, Gohan, and Bojack is still the dominant movie team for sure. But I also do want to try and get my Cooler up to 6 stars so I can run him effectively on this team. And sadly, I do not have the Zenkai Cooler and the Broly to 6 stars either, or else I'd feel a little bit more comfortable putting them on this team and using them. So, one last team that I want to take a look at is going to be androids. I hardly ever see this team in PvP, but when I have been using it, I haven't even gotten lucky enough to face Saiyans. It's usually been LOE or regeneration or fusions, so I'm not even getting the bonus damage that this Android 13 and this Super 13 give. So that's kind of the niche qualities of this Android team. I believe that they provide a lot of the damage only when Goku is the enemy. Now, I just recently got this character as 6 stars, and I have been using him over Android 21, the base form, the free-to-play blue Android 21, just because I feel like this character having that buff against the Gokus does come in handy when it does show up. And the Android 21, if we look her up right here, I don't believe she gives a bonus. See, it's only 28 strike defense, so I'd rather get a double attack buff if I am correct here. 29 blast attack and defense to all the androids on the team is a lot better in my opinion than this Android 21's Z ability. I think this Android 21 does fit better on a female Warriors team. I've been seeing people running the red Android 18, this free-to-play Android 21, this paid Android 21, and then Kefla. I feel like as far as female Warriors go, that's the only viable option. The Kakunsa, Rosie, and Ribrianne is kind of outdated at this point. Those units are getting old. So I wouldn't even recommend using them unless you like, you know, if you like the female Warriors team, I don't knock it. I mean, I've been running this Hybrids team here, and I've been having a blast with this team only because of this support Trunks. If this support Trunks wasn't here and I wasn't lucky enough to pull this Super Saiyan Trunks, I wouldn't be running this team. And I also was lucky enough to get this Gohan up to 6 stars, and he is providing a double attack Z ability to Hybrid Saiyans. Now, another fun team that I've been using this meta is going to be this Frieza Killer team. I saw a player running Nail, Krillin, and the Angry Goku here, the Blue Goku. And I ended up putting this team together, and it does work very well, especially with Fusion Warriors being so prominent. That brings LOE out, right? And this team is to kill LOE. When you leave this guy as the last man standing, he gets immense buffs against that team. When 2 allies are defeated, he just gains 80% damage inflicted. Cannot be canceled. So I've been having fun with that team. Other than that, those are pretty much the teams I've been running. I haven't ran this yet. I will be running this team and checking it out because I do like this Broly unit. I just need to get him to 6 stars before I even want to try and bring him into this meta, because I need as many powerful units as I can if I'm going to go up against something like Regen, where I don't have a heavy hitting purple on this team. Meta or mono teams, yellow blues, red greens, blue purples, whatever it is, I feel like are just not viable in today's meta in any form, because you can be combated so easily with all these teams having full color coverage. Once they get you in the rhythm of countering you to be color advantaged against you at all times, the game's over. And then with Rising Rushes being so quickly given out, with the Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and the Kefla being able to chain together all these cards and build up their Dragon Balls so quickly, it's really hard to even have a chance. Like, I've had moments where I got hit by a Kefla and she went right into a Rising Rush right at the beginning of the match. Like, I backed up, blasted, and she just went right through it. Of course that was my fault, but one hit into a Rising Rush I don't think is fair at this point. I feel like there needs to be a change, not to Rising Rush entirely. I don't want Rising Rush to be rid of, because you need that, right? You need Rising Rush against teams like Regeneration, where they have so much defenses. You have to be able to string together all those attacks without any penalty to get the damage that you need to beat that team. So I feel like they need to change the way of gaining Dragon Balls to unlock your Rising Rush. Other than that, I think that's the best route that they can take. I hope this anniversary brings some good changes to the game. I'm looking forward to the anniversary, seeing what they do. And other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing what any of you say about how you feel this meta has gone. I know the 3x RP has been terrible. I've been getting laggy matches. I've been getting a weird disconnect where I'll go to swipe and my screen will freeze for a second, and then they're able to attack me because it doesn't register my swipe. So I don't know if that's a cheater or a hacker thing, but it's been prevalent and it's been really keeping me out of PvP as much as I would like. Other than that, that'll probably be it for the video. If you liked it, please leave a like, and if you have any comments or suggestions for teams or characters to use, I would gladly accept them.